All right, guys, this used to be Doodle's car, but she has outgrown this car and now she has a Razor. So it's a little faster, a little bigger. Tucker has a tractor, but he is way too little for the tractor. So Pop is gonna work on his car, and what are we gonna do to it? We are gonna make it
controlled.
Remote controlled. Yeah. So we took the battery out, we just disconnected the motor. We found the two wires that go to the pedal. I've made a little rig up here. Basically, let's see if I can get this in the light. That is a servo, a micro switch, and that is the receiver for the radio. And when that micro switch comes over and contacts, or when that servo contacts that micro switch, it's going to send signal through here or voltage through there, which will complete the circuit and make it drive. So that is step one of 2 steps. The second step is somehow we have to grab hold of the steering and make it steerable. And that is going to be done with a windshield wiper motor and a servo. We don't have that yet, but that is on the radar. I know where I can probably get one, and that's what we're working on now. What do you got to say?
The car still works.
It still works?
Yes.
Well, that's important, because if it didn't work, there's no sense in making it remote controlled.
Yes, right.
All right, let's get started on it.
Okay.
The only thing that we have done so far is we ran this blue and this black wire here, and we tied it into the wiring harness that goes to the throttle pedal. So this is the wires that come off the throttle, and it's not really a throttle, all it is a switch. It's either on or off, but we tied these wires in with these, so you can use either the pedal or the remote control. So now I'm going to shut the camera off, flip this over, and I'll show you the other side. All right, so here is the side of the car, and I actually made this long metal plate up and just put it down to the floor with 2 screws, left it loose. That was so Doodle could put her foot anywhere in here and step on the throttle. So here you can see my hands on the throttle. Now I'm just going to push up on the micro switch right here. So yeah, all we're going to have to do is get a battery pack, and this is already hooked up. I'm not sure what channel I need for the throttle. I don't know if it's 1 or 3, but in any sense, we'll hook that up, and then that servo arm will come up, hit that micro switch, and make it spin. So if Tucker gets big enough that he can push down, he can do that, or I can run it via remote control. Our next step is going to be to get a windshield washer motor or a windshield wiper motor and attach it to the front steering. And I think we're going to attach that somewhere else other than where the steering column does, and that will actually turn the steering wheel when I turn it with the remote control. Here we go. I bet you guys are saying, what is that, Redneck? This is the next component for the remote controlled car. We're still waiting on one more component that I have on order from China. But for right now, I think I have enough that we can start experimenting with the windshield wiper motor, this motor controller, I have a servo down there in the heap and a couple of batteries. So one of the batteries is what I'm waiting for. In the meantime, yeah, we got signs going on. We have stuff parked over there, and we have the farm all tore pretty well apart. So I think we're gonna move this stuff over, bring that remote controlled car, which is behind that scooter there, over here, stir it up on some saw benches, and start working on that again. So we got a couple of projects going on, but right now it's all about the RC car. All right, guys, I think we have just about everything we need. We got a 12-volt battery, motor controller, servo, and a windshield wiper motor. So let's see what we can do with what we have so far. Here we go. All right, so I see a problem already. All the videos I've watched, it just has 2 wires. This actually has 3. So, not sure what's going on there. But let's get them unsoldered and pull that motor out. I'm pretty sure you guys sat there and watched me cut this end off of here. You know what they say, hindsight is 20/20. If I would have left that end on there, I could have just stuck that right on those pins. Just something about like this. All right, guys, the next step is going to be to get a piece of plate steel and drill a hole for the shaft, drill 3 holes to mount. I don't want my heat sink or anything else touching metal. I don't know that that'll mess with my signals, but I think I'm going to take a piece of 1x4 and mount this to it, as well as this. And then we have to put a servo arm on here, connect it to this arm. This arm has to get connected to the car. So we have a lot of work to do. Let's keep working on it. All right, guys, let's take a look at what I got here. So I think what I'm going to do is this piece of box tubing that runs back this way, I think I'm going to weld that plate of steel on there somehow, bolt it to it, run it across here, put my electronics on the top side of that plate of steel, so that way when he's riding, if he gets in any water, I can put like a rubber glove over top of it and kind of seal it, or with a Ziploc baggie, something like that. It'll all make sense once I get it put together. The only thing I'm not sure of is how this is going to swing that steering mechanism back and forth at this angle. It should be okay. We're just going to have to find out. So, plan of attack is in motion. Let's get started. All right, guys, you've seen what we had here. Now what I'm working on is, I'm working on a battery box. This is actually a bed frame Carl gave me, and that is some hard steel, so this should work good. So what we've done is we've cut it on 45s. I was actually going to put a piece in here, but the battery is going to sit inside there like that, and I think I'm just going to put an end piece on here and an end piece on here so the battery can't slide, and then we'll wrap a bungee cord around it or a Velcro strap around it to hold it in. Grab this camera off of here and let's go over here and I'll show you where the battery is going to end up. So on the front side here is where that motor is going to go. The motor will be here out that way, and the battery is going to be, now of course I have to put it in the right position. It's upside down now, but when I flip the car over it'll be right side up. So that motor will be right in this area. The only thing that I have to check is to make sure that the motor for the windshield wiper doesn't protrude up too far that way. So that's something I'm going to look at right now. Shoo! This is a little harder than what I thought. End of night one. We got a little battery tray made up. Battery sits in there. We split this block so I have a clamp and some wood glue. We have a servo with no motor that's been wired up for the motor controller, and this thing is going to be connected to this thing via this thing. So this is just a control horn clasp and some music wire, and what that's going to do is that's going to tell this where that is, so that way it can come back to center. There's no motor in here. It's just simply going to be used for the potentiometer. So we're getting a little closer, but man, this is a struggle. I didn't realize it was going to be this much of a struggle, but we're working on her.